My name is Sobia Ahmad, and I'm an interdisciplinary artist from the Washington, D.C. area. My work included in the exhibition is titled Wherever You Are is Called Here, and it is an installation of what I like to call non-flags, counter-flags, anti-flags. I made this work in collaboration with my grandmother, whose stories I recorded while making the work, and that audio is also part of the installation, and it's played alongside the non-flags in the gallery space. This work specifically addresses the notion of home through the lens of memory and place for immigrant and exiled communities, and it also reimagines the symbolism of flags for these communities. Flags are symbols of nations. They are the most powerful manifestation of our ideologies and sectarianism. But what happens if we reimagine the symbolism of a flag to reflect not a political identity or a national identity, but more a personal or a communal identity, or reimagine it to be a symbol for belonging beyond sectarianism? So at the core of this work is my personal experience and my ancestral experience of migration and exile, and the relationship between that experience and the larger conversations unfolding around us about nationalism, not only here in the US, but also in my ancestral homelands of India and Pakistan. The work is made with rice bags, and woven into the rice bags are images of my childhood home and places both encountered and remembered, from state lines and zip codes here in the US to the border of India and Pakistan, and images of my childhood home and screen prints of maps. And woven together, these images and maps and places become pixelated, and that sort of alludes to the idea of ambiguity and uncertainty around geography and home for immigrants. The way the work is made, the materials used in the work are very personal to my own narrative and my familial narrative. The choice of using rice bags and the Urdu script that is screen printed onto the rice bags, along with the photos and maps, are very specific to my personal and my familial story. But the way the work is hung makes the connection of that personal experience and story being connected to and being inseparable from the larger collective narrative around nationalism. I hope the audience is able to engage with the work in a contemplative way. I hope the audience can spend time with the details of the work and really see the non-flags up close and the woven images into them, and experience the intimacy of the narrative, and also find the space contemplative enough to reflect on these questions of belonging and nationalism and home that are not just part of my own story, but are part of a global experience at the moment. Questions around migration are very present on a global level, and I hope the work is able to invite people into that space of engaging with these themes and topics.